This week, the famed Loretta Lynn's Amateur National is done and dusted. We have the story. 2006 MotoGP champion Nicky Hayden joins us to talk about his season and his future in racing. Maddo gets massive by getting wet, and history is made by a young rider from New York. That and more only on the Racer X Show. Hello and thanks for checking out the Racer X Show. I'm Greg. The ups and downs of racing. Never so prevalent than at Loretta Lynn's, where dreams are made and smashed all in the span of about 5 days. Jason will chime in later with that scoop. Look, we've got a lot to do, so let's get to it.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Acerbis, Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
All right, let's start the show with the motocross segment presented by Acerbis. And since the Pro Motocross Series has the week off, we're going to concentrate on the next batch of hopefuls. The young riders that come out of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC AMA Amateur National Motocross Championships presented by AMSOIL. Boy, that is an absolute mouthful. Now, this is where you'll find the champions of tomorrow racing it up today. There's so many classes and so many great stories that we're going to spread it out over the next couple of shows. But for this show, the three motos from the Premier Open Pro Sport class. Moto 1 has random gate picks, which can make the start a little different for Moto 2 and 3. Jumping out front early on a Honda, Newcastle, Oklahoma's Chase Marquardt. Giving chase, number 45 Yamaha-mounted Egan Maston out of Cairo, Georgia, who would eventually take over that spot. But late in the moto, a charging Kawasaki from Ubly, Michigan, by the name of Marshall Welton, would take the point. When it was over, Welton won with Maston second and Oak Grove, Missouri's Benny Bloss on a Yamaha in third. Moto 2 and 3 were different, as the number 33 Bloss would dominate with a hole shot and put the smackdown on the rest of the field with enough room to look over and around to see that no one was around. Welton gave Bloss fits early in Moto 3, but Bloss would prevail, and 3-1-1 will beat a 1-3-2 any day. With Welton close, early favorite Mitchell Harrison had a solid week, keeping him on the podium. Egan Maston, 6th in Moto 2, DNF in Moto 3. That would put him 16th overall. And that's the downs of racing. Congrats to Benny Bloss on his overall a great story. There are so many coming out of Loretta's, like I mentioned, and one man who was there all week long, keeping his watchful eye on things, is Jason Wygant, and he's got the overall scoop. Take it away, Jay.
All right, Greg, here we are at 34th Annual Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship presented by AMSOIL at Loretta Lynn's Ranch. Weather this week, not as big a factor as usual. It was very, very, very hot, but there's normally like 5 varies. Before that, we had a little rain to cool things off. But let's be honest, you people do not care about the weather. You just want to know about the riders. Well, here the story is really the future. Now, it's always the future in a way at an amateur race, but I'm talking about the more distant future. There's a solid A group coming out, graduating into the pros right now. I know a rider named Bradley Taft, who won a title this year, is going to be racing next weekend at Unadilla on a 450 Yamaha. But the bigger story is in the B class. Austin Forkner, one of the big stars coming in. He announced on the podium after winning his second title this week that he has signed a 4-year deal with Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki as a pro. The question is, when will it start? If I had to guess, it might just be Hangtown or Glen Helen, whatever is the opening round of next year's Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. So we might not see Forkner race at the ranch again. And also at Forkner's level is Chase Sexton. He's a very fast Yamaha man. Rumor has it he has signed a deal with Geico Honda into the future. We'll see who he ends up. Another A rider to watch was Tristan Charbonneau on a Geico Honda. Could have won a title, but unfortunately had bike problems in his last moto. He could be back here next year as an A rider again. But further down, that seems to be where the teams are drilling. They're all trying to beat each other to the next level of talent before another team can swoop in. Watch for riders like Garrett Marchbanks, Pierce Brown, and Jet Reynolds, who broke a record here. He won 2 titles, 3 years in a row on a 50, a 65, and an 85. That's never been done before, so watch out for the youngster from Bakersfield, California. Really, if you want to study the results for this one at mxsports.com, make sure you look in the Super Mini and the 85 and the 65 divisions. There's a lot of talent. They'll be pros in just a few years. Greg?
Thanks, Jason. We'll have more from Loretta's on next week's show. Now some news. Former Monster Energy Kawasaki rider Davey Millsaps has signed a deal with Team BTO Sports KTM to race Supercross next season. He'll join Andrew Short and Justin Brayton. For up-to-date news and information, go to RacerX Online a few times a day, and you'll be the smartest one in your class if you do so. The Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship returns this weekend, and pay attention, here's the deal. The first motos are live on MAV TV at 1 p.m. East, then 450 Moto 2 live on NBC, the big network, at 4 p.m. East. Then at 5:30 p.m., you'll see the 250 Moto 2 race on NBC Sports Network. Make sense? Sure it does. Okay, I just have to put this in the Achairby's Motocross segment. Freestyle rider Robbie Madison and DC Shoes finally released the Pipe Dreams video, and it is rad. And at the time of the taping, it's around 9 million views on YouTube, and it is a bunch of two-stroke sickness. Here's a sample of Maddo on a KTM on the water. Check that out on DC Shoes' YouTube page. It's totally sick. But how would you like to win a brand new 2015 450cc four-stroker of your choice? Yup, you pick it. A Honda, Husqvarna, Kawasaki, KTM, Suzuki, or Yamaha, and all the proceeds go towards funding the Asterix Mobile Medical Center. How? Head to win450.com and you can purchase all the raffle tickets your heart's desire before August 21st. The winner will be picked August 22nd at the 2015 Bud Light Ironman National in Crawfordsville, Indiana. The winner doesn't have to be present to claim their prize. What are you waiting for? Get your tickets now at win450.com and help support the Asterix Mobile Medical Center today. And that is our motocross segment brought to you by Achairby's. Hey, make sure you check out racertv.com this weekend on Saturday, August 8th at 3:30 p.m. East. We are going to have live coverage of the Mountain Dew ATV MX finale. Who's going to win the championship, Wienen or Hetrick? It's 15 points, and it'll be exciting. So get those laptops and computers fired up, 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. Now, our road race segment presented by Yoshimura, where we've shown you updates on the MotoGP World Championship all year long. And from time to time, we give you the Nicky Hayden update. Nicky is the 2006 MotoGP World Champ and twice teammate to current MotoGP points leader Valentino Rossi, and is the lone American in the series. We wanted to introduce you to him. So for the first time on the Racer X show, Nicky Hayden. Hey Nick, how are you?
I'm not too bad, Greg. Thanks for having me.
All right, Nicky, look, coming into the season, it looked like Honda was going to give you a serious race weapon, but it really hasn't turned out like that. You've had some success, but I'm guessing it's not what you were really hoping for.
Yeah, well, this year I'm riding an open bike for Honda. And yeah, you know, obviously, to be honest, the results hasn't been what we'd hoped for. We did have a couple of okay results. We won the open class in Le Mans and a couple of decent qualifying results, but haven't been able to nail down the results that we hoped for.
I don't mean to be pointing the finger solely at the bike. I mean, you seem to be healthy and the field is crazy competitive this season. Are you all good?
Well, I am healthy. I got to say, you know, last year I had a lot of problems with my wrist, and all that's behind me now, thankfully. So I'm very happy for that. You know, I can't pat myself on the back with the results I've had. I'm not going to get carried away. I mean, for sure, but also I don't want to be the guy here, oh, bike, whatever. You know, just bottom line, the results hadn't been good enough. So I gotta do better. Thankfully, I am healthy. And, you know, it's not like, oh, wow, we're 3 seconds off the pace. The field in MotoGP this year, as they've advertised, is the deepest, strongest field ever. So, you know, sometimes I might only be less than a second off, but it's only good enough for 15th on the grid or something. So, you know, it's not like we're 5 miles off, but it just feels like that sometimes because we're so far down the order.
Look, you've been racing since you were 5 years old. Does the racing fire still burn inside you?
You know, I still certainly love the sport. I love riding motorcycles. I mean, like you say, it's what I did since I was 5 years old. It's all I've known. It's all I did. And really, it's all it's my life. It's what I know. It's what I do. So I still definitely want to keep going. I do enjoy it. This year hadn't been great, so I don't want my last year to be like this. Would like to go out with something a little bit more, you know, positive and more fun, but I have to see what's down the road. Yeah, I realize that next week I got another birthday, so I'm starting to put on a few years, but I still feel young, still love racing the bike, still love being at the track, being with the fans, and definitely my passion hasn't burned out at all.
You just hinted that it might be your last season in MotoGP. Do you know what you're going to be doing yet?
No, I really don't. So, I mean, it's still a little bit early. I mean, it's still July. A lot of that stuff has not been decided yet. But it's not definite I won't be in MotoGP. I mean, I certainly probably could stay in MotoGP. It's just to stay with the bike and situation that sounds like something that would be fun. So, you know, I need the right package where I feel excited to do it. So, we'll see. I mean, I'd like to definitely keep racing. I don't want to, you know, I'm 33 now. I'm not 63. And finally, I got my wrist problems behind me. So, yeah, I mean.
Well, Indianapolis MotoGP is coming up this weekend. Are you pumped to be back at your home track racing?
I love IMS. Last year, I was out because I got injured. You know, I had the wrist operation, missed a good part of the season, and they made a few changes to the track. So I look forward to trying it. And plus, I mean, it's 3 hours from my house. So, I mean, that's certainly nice. I mean, I have a lot longer layovers than that, sometimes flying to certain races around the world. So, for sure, love racing in Indy, and hopefully be a nice place to try to get a good result and turn my season around.
All right, Nicky, thank you so much for joining us here on the Racer X Show, and good luck this weekend.
All right, well, thanks for all the support, Greg, and I'm sure we'll see you around.
Like we said, Indy MotoGP is this weekend. You can catch Nicky, Valentino, and the rest race it up on Fox Sports 1. Race action begins at noon East, with all 3 MotoGP classes being shown. And Moto America, well, they'll be racing there as well. With Superbike and Supersport, you can see those streaming on MotorTrendOnDemand.com. And a quick and exciting update on World Superbike and World Supersport. In World Superbike, it was oh so close for Kawasaki's Johnny Ray for the world title. He won race 1, but a last lap pass by Aruba.it Ducati's Chaz Davis, with some contact, shuffled Ray back to second. That means Ray only needs 6 points to wrap up the championship. It'll be his first world title in World Superbike. But it'll have to wait until Jerez in 7 weeks' time. And moving on to World Supersport, and the only American in the series, I told you it was coming, New Yorker P.J. Jacobsen got his first win in World Supersport and becomes the first American to ever do so. PJ's margin of victory, 0.9 of a second. Congratulations, PJ. He still holds on to third in the championship with 3 races to go. And that is our road race segment presented by Yoshimura. Some news coming out of the AMA Pro paddock regarding the 2015 Peoria TT that's happening August 16th. Last week, rumors ran amok about some chicane being used to slow riders down before the famous TT jump. Well, in a release sent out late last week by AMA Pro, they said no way, no chicane. The famed Peoria TT will be the same as it's always been. Another example of getting garbage information from that internet thing. Oh, wait a second. Anyway, tonight you can check out race action from AMA Pro Flat Track on fanschoice.tv. And if you missed it, they're archiving those races. And a week later on YouTube. And of course, we'll have the highlights from tonight's Black Hills Half Mile on next week's show. To get out of the house and get to a race, Pro Motocross makes its annual stop in New York at Unadilla. Barsha is fired up. In the Midwest, both MotoGP and Moto America are at the Yard of Bricks. Go check out that great event. And the final round of the Mountain Dew ATV Motocross Series is at Loretta Lynn's. Go see that. The championship is on the line.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Acerbis, Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
All right, we are wrapping things up right now. Don't forget to check out RacerTV.com for the live finale of ATV Motocross. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you share the show with everyone, by the way. We love that you want to share it. And on Friday from the Pro Motocross track, I'll probably be doing a little bit on Periscope, so you want to check that out. It's at Greg White. That's my Twitter handle. Well, for the fine crew here at the Racer X Show and Racer TV, we appreciate you watching. And make sure that you keep it locked right here to RacerTV.com because we are all racing all the time. See you next week.